Hi everyone, welcome back to another video of this playlist. As you know, in this playlist we are going to master Next.js from basic to advanced. Yet we have seen what is like an overview of this whole playlist. Second video was installation and folder structure, and third video was how routing work exactly in Next.js. We have seen static, dynamic, nested params and search params, and today we will be using these all, like what are params, search params and all. Okay, so right now we have three videos. If you have not watched the third video, I prefer you to watch first this third video, then you can begin with fourth video. So this is a documentation that I have provided, or I have created, and I have explained all what is a static site generation and all. If you want to access this, just what you can do, go to your browser and hit iplus.in. You will be landing to this page. Okay, currently internet is not there, my localhost server is running, so you will be redirected to this page and just come to this master page, like Next.js course, and click here view course. You will be landing to this page and come to here license. Okay, and you will be redirecting to this page. Come on this fourth video, images are not able to load because of internet, not an issue. Click on this fourth video. Okay, you will be redirected to this page, and I will be guiding you what exactly this all is. So right now you can see what is SSG. Basically this SSG stands for static site generation in Next.js. That means we can create our final HTML page at the time of a build when we are doing npm run build, and this will be basically as a HTML file which will be served from our server. No need to do any pre-processing or any process. We don't need to do every time when any user request you particular URL. Secondly, I have written that this is idle for what it is idle for any blog application or any documentation or any marketing page, or that can it can be more we can say static pages. The speed of loading is too much faster. This is SEO friendly because all the content is pre-rendered in form of an HTML. Data isn't up to date. That means we need to rebuild our application if we do any changes. Okay, so next I have like here will be one video, you can say iframe video of YouTube. You can view that also. This is the same video, by the way. So if you can see how does SSG work. It will create a HTML file at the time of npm run build, and it will create static HTML pages. Okay, and that will be rendered on a browser. Cool, now we will be jumping towards the coding part. So as you know, this is a folder where we are learning Next.js. Okay, so right now you can see, like here is I have written some line of code. Okay, so you can see, first of all, I have created one folder inside blog. Okay, and after that I have created one dynamic route by id and one page.jsx. If you don't know what is this, you can view the previous video. Okay, in that I have explained what are these. Next you can see here, let me, okay, this is a final code that you are seeing here. Okay, yeah, in previous video we have seen exactly what all this is. Okay, like how we are getting params, how we are awaiting them, and this is a function basically we are calling at one place. Okay, so you can see this is a get post function. Okay, so this is a get post function, and we are getting here id, means a particular id of any particular blog. Okay, cool. So next is what is here. So this is a function, this will be returning some data. Okay, and you can see here I have created one fetch method, but I have commented it because what we will do here right now, we will get our data from our database. Means in our database we can have a lot of blogs, like with a specific id, like id1, id2, id3, or there can be something id like abcd or something else. Okay, now on that particular id, on that specific particular id, we are getting a specific blog content. Means we are getting its title, we are getting its thumbnail, means everything related to that blog. And once we are getting that blog, we are returning that blog in form of an object. Okay, and here we have written that post, and now we have grabbed that post here. Okay, cool. Now you can see we are rendering that content here. This was the basic thing that SSG, no role is there, static site generation. Okay, but right now if we write here one function, export async function, generate static params, this will generate a SSG, means static site generation. This function will do static site generation. So what we are saying here, that we are defining the blocks uh, initially. Okay, when and we are creating a build, we are making this. Okay, we are saying that we will be having these particular blocks, blog with id1, blog with id2, blog with id3, means how many IDs are there in database, we will define there. And when we will make here npm run build, so I have maken here one console so that you can see without starting our server, this function is getting called. That means our static site generation is perfectly working. If I do right now here, npm run build. Okay, so what it will do, it will basically create html pages of blog id1, blog id2. Okay, so let me maximize it. Okay, so right now you can see it is starting collecting the data. Okay, and now it is generating some static pages, and you can see we have got it a output like in console 1 and 2. That means we have got it id1 and id2 here. Now what next exactly is here, now it is still collecting those pages which are not static. Okay, let's wait till it is generating. Okay, so it has generated, you can see it has already generated these blogs, blog with id1, blog with id2. If I am writing here id3 also, then it will generate for id3 also. If I do here id4, then it will generate for id4. But if I am going here and saying that I need a data of blog id5, then also it will work, because I don't have predefined the blog id 5, but I have said here params. We can get this params dynamically also. If that is not there in static HTML pages, then we will be dynamically getting that part. Okay, this was like static generate static params was SSG, means server like static site generation. Now let's see what is server side, or let first of all let's see the output. Okay, let's do here npm run npm start. Okay, we will start a server, and it is saying that okay, I have already one server up and running, so let me close that server first. Okay, let me, okay, now let's again start that server. Npm start, and let's hit a particular URL in our browser. So you can see I am on blog 6. Okay, but I don't have any blog 6. Okay, right now you can see we are getting that blog 6 is there. If I do blog 1, so this is not fetching the data from our database. Okay, this is not calling this function at when I'm saying I need first block. This is not going to call this function at anymore. It's not going to fetch data from database. This HTML page is already rendered, already there. Okay, so you can see here this will, you will not understand if I am even going to guide you. So basically if I tell you an overview, this has already generated this HTML content. You can see here this HTML content has already been generated at the time of build, and it's serving from that cache, even only from cache, no need to call that function again and again. Okay, if I am doing here blog 3, this is not there in our static site. Okay, there is no HTML page on this particular blog 3. If I hit enter, then also I'm getting data, because I have maken here get id, means dynamically also it is properly handled. Okay, this is something static site generation. Okay, SSG. Now what next? Let's see, let's come back to our we can say, you can see like one more thing you can view here. In our terminal we have got it some outputs, right? You can see we have got it 1 and 2, like console 1 and 2 at the time of we have created a build, means at the time we have created a build, we have got our HTML files, but for page 6 and 3 we don't have any HTML file. So at the time of runtime, means on a server side we have done this logic. Okay, cool. So now next let's move back to our blog page, and let's come here. We have seen we can see SSG, and next is SSR, server side rendering. What does exactly this mean? So server side rendering was this the same part, the same logic that we have done for blogs 6 and 7, means which we don't have our static paths, or we can say static params. Okay, cool. The same example I have done here, there is nothing so complicated. Okay, this is same thing, same to same. We have created this we are getting these params, and after that we are calling one function and we are getting the data of that particular blog. But at this time we are not defining any of the route, or we can say any of the predefined HTML page will not be created. That will be created at the time of runtime. What does exactly this mean? This means when we are going to say that we need this data, we need this data, this is going to again and again hit our database and going to get a real-time data. So this is one benefit even we can say. But at the time of SSG for blog ID 1 and 2, even though I am changing any data in a database, then they will not be reflected in our you can say browser when we are hitting that blog ID 1 URL. Okay, so this is nothing. Okay, so this is SSG. Okay, server side generation. So this will generate the HTML page on the server side. And now here if you want to do for search params even, okay, search param, search params. Okay, params, cool. So you can do it await and you can get the any value if you are doing any query kind of here. Okay, and you can get on the basis of that query data from our database, and you can render the HTML data from here. So this is a way you can understand what is SSG and what is SSR. Okay, so we have seen yet what is SSG and what is SSR. uh, so you can see like this is idle for database authenticated pages, dynamic feeds like in a social media application. uh, Let me come here. Okay, so you can see here this is always up to date, means we are getting data from our database. That means this will be always up to date. Okay, works well with the user session, means some authentication kind of. But like getting the data from our database, it can be little bit slow even. Okay, you need to make sure that this will not be that much slow. But yeah, getting data from our database, rendering the data in on server, then getting data can take a long time. We need to make sure that our server need to be properly up and running, okay, for getting SSR data. Now next is we have explained here how exactly SSR works. So a user will make a request to a server. A server will generate a HTML page. Okay, so you can see here this is generating a HTML page. Okay, but in this case it has already been generated a HTML page and stored somewhere. Okay, so it will like our server will render the HTML page, and that HTML page will be fresh, means data will be up to date, and that will be displayed on our browser. This is how some SSR works. Okay, so next I have shown here like difference between SSR and SSG. So rendered, this is rendered at the time of build. When we do npm run build, as you have seen in terminal, we are getting console 1 and 2 because that was rendered like, or we can say that was created on a runtime. But when we are doing SSR, we are getting 6 and 3 at that in npm run dev on the server side. Performance, this is very fast because already pages are kept somewhere, already they are generated. But SSR is slow because they need to generate the page. Great. The data is not always fresh. Okay, we need to create again and again production build to get fresh data. But in SSR the data is always you can say uh, up to date. Okay, and this is like both are SEO friendly. Data is always SEO friendly. Okay, use cases, static websites are good for SSG, but if any dynamic website we need to create, then we need to go with SSR. So after that, I have here making some strength and all. Okay, if you want to use SSG, then for low hosting cost, you can use a CDN. Okay, for super fast. But in SSR, so CDN is good but not recommended, because at the end it will be hitting our our server itself. So here I have some more benchmarks also, and so that's all. Here I have shown an example of the code example, what exactly here is. And okay, so you can see here export function and all. Okay, you can read this, you can read the documentation. So this was all there in this video. Okay, we have seen how we can generate some HTML pages and some server side pages. So yeah, that's all guys, that's all in this video. If you are not following this playlist, then you can follow this playlist. Cool. And now let's move back. Okay, so we are done even. So thank you guys, we are done with this video. We will be catching you in next video. Yeah, so thank you so much.